Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page in which I try to talk about common sense under the nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very fucking important. And not important to liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT, people who like escapism, people who can't think outside the box. Well, this video is going to be in correspondence to another video, which I will post in the description box. And shout out to Wing Ma'am TV, which she may change the name because she may see me as cringy or something like that. I like her. I like her style of things. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just talk about some things that she said in relation to someone who actually had experience with hundreds of women, okay, and actually conversated with them hundreds of times, okay. But of course, this video is going to be about, okay, I'll give you my background. Just be patient, okay? Someone's texting me right now, okay? Let me see. This video is going to be at 31 signs she's a unicorn or a Nawalt, okay? And I want people to understand that my next video, okay, I'm going to talk about kindred spirit versus soulmate, and I'm also going to talk about alpha and unicorns. What is the statistics? What is the statistics? What is the rate and ratio? Where are they at? Where are they located? Okay, we'll talk about that in the next video. But right now, I'm going to talk about 31 signs she's a unicorn in the world. Okay, it's got a clear definition of my background. You can see in the description box. I used to be ex-Giglioer, a professional Giglioer. Okay, I used to be a therapist for many women who lived in the hood, the lower end of the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? I will talk to women on a daily basis. I still talk to women to this day. I still got women in my inbox, even though while I'm fucking married and shit, okay? I get all my information from women, okay, most of it, okay, and I'll give you some of my perspectives on how to protect yourself. And I've been in the field for gigoloing for like probably 5 years, so I didn't keep track of all of the hoes that I was talking to, okay. But other than that, when I say the word hoe and it bothers you, you should get out of here. This message is mainly pertaining for not the masses of asses, but only those individuals who like to see a different perspective, dark psychology, abstract thinking, okay, type of way, rather than just focusing on what the general media is putting out there. So let's begin. Let's get right into it, okay? So I told you a little bit about my past. I think that's truly alpha of me to say that to you. Listener's discretion is advised, okay? So we're going to go on to 31 signs she is a unicorn. And my nose is itching right here, so that may be coronavirus. And I'll make it killed. But the first thing is that we have to understand what a unicorn is. And the Nawalt. A female that's very rare. Okay, she really much doesn't exist because she has to have both mother and father. And if there's some strange reason she doesn't have a father, you got to ask and be curious of why the father's not there. Okay, so unicorns are women who basically have all the needs of a man. In Japan, they give a little history on the side note here. They used to train little girls, like in a geisha, to train them how to swoon and be coon with the man. The coup the man to seduction, okay, with the geisha girls, okay. If you ever look up geisha girls, you understand what I'm talking about. They're completely trained to be totally submissive towards a male, okay. Those are the type of unicorn type females that are still out there, but they're really hard to find. All right, so let's begin. 31 things, but it might be 32. You know how I change up things. I'm pretty unstable. And if you don't know my other background, I'm also a schizoaffective individual, so I have a lot more knowledge than the average person. Asperger's syndrome, indigo child. That's who I am. Very rare. Let's keep a mental note of that, okay? All right? Okay. Let's get on with it. So it's been 4 minutes now. First thing, being a king, okay, it is very important to understand that if you know thyself very well and you can actually come up to a female, okay, I'm talking about, this is for a female, okay? 31 signs she is a unicorn. When you represent yourself as a king and she accepts it as a king, she has to be acceptable that you actually spoke to her as in a fashion of such. She does not feel intimidated by when you said you're a king, okay? You say to her and she is acceptable by what you just said, okay? She's not easily offended. She's not sensitive, okay? She could be sensitive in her feminine aspect, but please understand, I'm going to go on with down your list here, okay? When you approach women and they give you this little air, you can sense it. When you first meet females, okay, that she's going to be either attracted to you or not. She might look at you a certain way, okay, she can't have that air of being intimidated. She can't be intimidated at all. Intimidation. That's the first one. Number 2, apologetic. Now, it's very hard to basically find women who are apologetic. Usually 9 times out of 10, if you're alpha king and you put everything down there, the consequences of her actions, if your actions and whatever, then you're safe. Okay, you already know that if women are not apologetic and you're definitely apologetic, you're pretty much evolved as a king. You know, she wants to try to make up for it. That's cool, but most women are not capable of such a thing. Apologies, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Okay, so if she's apologetic, you're on the right path. If she's not intimidated, you're on the right path. Let's go on the third one. Pass your test. Now, the thing is with passing tests is that you have to be alpha to make sure that if she passed through those, you know, that screening of the, you know, you approaching her, and she also passed with that apologetic, you know, you ain't going to find that out until much later if she's apologetic or not. Let's go on to the next one. She passed your test. You have to test women in order to understand where their virtues are at. Without testing women's potential, okay, like I tested my wife. My wife is from Ethiopia. I got her from Ethiopia and shit. I tested her for over 5 years before I brought her into the country. I even lived in her country for about 2 years, dogs. So testing a woman and she's passing your colors, that's a plus. Okay. Now, the fourth one is her virginity. Now, this is a big one for most women. So if women are actually listening to me here, you might get bored off and you might just stop the video now. Because when a holy man, an alpha male, a king, a true kingsman, alpha male, because I know a lot of guys who are virgins in society, okay? And when they talk to women, these women are already used up. They roll the cock carousel. They always have problems with their virginity. And that's a very nasty thing for a man to do, to enter a woman's womb, and she's not a virgin. She must be a virgin. And let's go into the next subject, okay? Okay, number 5. Okay, let me see. I'm going to number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hobby, tomboyish. Now, you very rarely you'll find girls that are tomboyish who's into guns and cars, just like she has something in common. Compatibility. I may say compatibility twice though, but please understand that having something common with a female is very motherfucking important. Having something in common with a female, like my wife, she tried to play Borderlands with me. She played video games with me, and then I realized, okay, over time she changes. But that's another one now. So we're not gonna go there. Now we're gonna go to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna go to another. I said 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 or 5. I'm on number 6 now. So number 5 was about having a hobby, a tomboyish. She has something in common with you. Number 6 is she likes education like yourself. Now, I keep talking to guys all the time all my life. Most men are not very educated or into Renaissance knowledge and shit like that. Education to me means that learning a little bit about each thing as you go along in life, and you never stop. So if someone says something to you, you know, you will actually take it into account to do some research. Just a little bit of research goes a fucking long way. It also helps with the personality with the person and sway. So if she likes education, I'm going to go down to that. I'm not going to count all of the numbers, but I should. Okay, this is number 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She likes education. Number 6 is she likes education like yourself. All kings and Renaissance men, all holy men, all alpha men love education. You can't avoid it. Okay. Number 7. You move too quickly. Okay, desperate. Okay. Now the thing is that I've encountered female who like to move quickly, but it depends on how much knowledge do they know of you, right? This as I said before, this video is a correlation to the much shout out to what's her name? God damn it, I forgot her name. Don't get me wrong, I am forgetful, but I said it in the first part. But I'm just going to correlation to the video, and you can watch it yourself. Now, she moves too quickly. I have thrown females out of my house because they were too quick. They wanted to get a chance to know me and they just want to have sex. But that means something's wrong. She's either too horny, and I told her that. And sometimes I even tell her, say, "Calm down, just wait for a little bit. Let's learn it." And then she's still trying to hop on this dick, okay? And I'm not interested in females who are fast, because if she's fast for the ass, she's going fast for the cash. She's going to be fast for the dash. She's going to be going somewhere else. Now, a real man knows how to control his penis, because sexuality is not the number one thing that controls the man. Babies, real men are not controlled by the penis down between your legs. They're not. You're interested in education and distraction. Now, let's continue on now. Number 8. Encouraging, okay? Most women are not encouraging. So we know this is a fact. So now there be women, I'm encouraging. I say, okay, you're different. Okay, but what about your years when you weren't a fucking virgin? When you were a virgin, was you encouraging while you was a virgin? Okay, number 9. Okay, let's go to the next one. Most women are not encouraging, so that's very hard to find. Most women don't like education or becoming a renaissance. That's another thing. Virginity or pass your test, nor apologetics. So most of the heavy burden falls on a man to try to find a unicorn. But I kind of found mine because mine did have most of those qualities. Okay, now let's go into the next one. Okay, number 9, cheers for you. Okay, now the thing is with cheering for you, it's the same thing as encouraging to a degree. So I'm just going to bypass that and say that if she don't like to cheer you on the sidelines, okay, she don't seem to root for you, that's the problem right there. Most women don't root and cheer for their husbands and their boyfriends. They just don't. I said most, motherfucker. The key word is most. Okay, it doesn't matter, woman or man or cis or gist or okay, you can be a cis, what the fuck you want to say, right? Let's go into the next one. And I'm gonna go down the list. I said 31. I wrote down 31. I lose track of things sometimes. Okay. Next one is communication. Now, communication is a big thing. That's one of the big things that she said in her video. But the thing is that most women don't have the capability, like I said before, to communicate with the proper king structure. So you really don't need to talk that much to women, okay? You can easily tell if she has something in common with you early on in the conversation. You can tell if she's a dunce or not, okay? You can tell if she's a dunce or not, okay? Because most men have more of the things to talk about than most women, so next subject, okay? Okay, if she's a unicorn, she's going to have that communication skill. I've talked to women who actually had great communication skills, fire conversation, but they lost their virginity. They like to smoke or to drink and shit like that. But let's continue on here. Honesty is a big thing. Basically, if you test a woman, you can test out her honesty. So you don't have to worry about honesty. But it's good and recommended that both people be honest. But most of the time, a man is going to be honest up front because he wants some ass, right? So there you go. She can figure it out through intuition, okay? All right. Most women can figure out what a man wants in an instant, okay? It's booty first, and then it goes down here from there. But since the men don't have any potential, then it may get even worse. You might go to family court and just get seasonal. And that's another thing, too. Okay, seasonalness, okay? I didn't write it down here, but it just came to my mind. A woman who's not seasonal. That's hard to find out, too, as well. My wife changed over time as I brought her into the country, right? So you really can't tell, but over time, if she stays stable, okay, and she stays entertaining for your needs, okay, and she stays as a geisha, okay, then she will most likely be more happier in life. But most of the time, women want to try to take control, okay? So let's continue now on that list down here. We said honesty. Okay, most women are not. You can't tell some of these characteristics cannot be proven or shown until later on, and that's when you know if you really have either a hoe, you have a Jezebel, or you'll have a great wife. Okay, which is not recommended for alpha men to do. Getting married is not really recommended these days. We know this, and of course, next resolve. Now, basically, most resolve from a woman that can only be found out later on. So let's say, for instance, she did something bad. She should resolve all of the problems that's going on just by having reasonable communication and two-way rapport. But that's not going to happen because most of the time, most women don't know how to do such things because they didn't have a proper father figure. So if she know how to resolve, okay, all problems, you communicating her as the alpha, and she communicating as the queen, okay, or the unicorn, then it should be no problem. You should nip it in the bud early because alpha men always lay things on the table, have an application process, and then it should be smooth selling. But it doesn't always work that way, buddy. Okay, pal. Okay. Now, let's continue on there. She's feminine, but she's not a bitch. Okay, now, you can't tell this either, because my wife was completely feminine when she was in her country. Now, putting a female in her element versus she's not being in element are two psychological things you have to take into account. Yes, I went to school for psychology, and I talked to thousands of people in my goddamn life. Okay, over 300,000 people have seen me, and people who know my profession will respect what I say. If they don't, they can just fly the fuck off. It's not a problem, you guys. She's feminine in her element. And if she's feminine in element, you don't have to give her no property, like Brother Polite. I don't know. Brother Polite has 4 wives, and he gives them all of their property. I don't see the reason why they have to have their own property, but feminine in nature is usually a sharing and caring type thing. But let's continue on out here. Feminine means to share. Feminine means to be humble. Feminine means to be spiritual. Feminine energy is respectful, highly respectful. Okay, now, and it's also sacrificial, but sometimes a woman have to give up some things just for everybody to be happy. Because if it's not just about her, Let's go on to the next one, okay? Compatibility. Like I said before, compatibility starts early. So you must understand how to basically know what you want in a woman. And then make it simple because most women don't have the criteria. Now, I know when women listening, I know some women. I don't like the way you say most women, but it is a fact, though. Most men do. They're multiple things. They build things. They're constructive. And some even simple men who don't like to do that much. They just want a woman in their life, okay? And there's a lot of men who are virgins out there, and they'll run across a female who has too much on her plate mentally, but never earned those things. So she'll feed off a men's income or something like that and take advantage of them. That's the bitch. That, that's hard to tell, but later on, okay? Okay, there's a lot of men, there's a lot more men losing property over women. Okay, so because of them changing their minds. Okay, let's continue on here. Using sex as a weapon. She spoke about this. Now, I'm also going to merge this with compromise because my wife tries to get... I teach women how to compartmentalize things, and I told her in advance, sex and getting angry are two different things. And this lady who spoke about this, okay, in her video is definitely right. You should never use sex as a weapon. But there are women who like to play that game. That's why I tell guys all the time, if I don't get this, then I'm going to take away these two things. Okay, you obviously know that the courts can't take those things away, okay, but you can't put your wife's name on the lease and thinking that she ain't gonna run to the courts and get it taken away. You gotta actually have a full-fledged plan for that bitch. You gotta have a whole full-fledged plan for bitches who be like playing. You like pussy. Every man, most women know you like pussy. My wife sometimes acts a little raunchy sometimes because she's stinky and shit. She get old and she get on her blood mode. But I say, hey, if I'm in the mood and you want to reject me, so I'm gonna reject riding your ass. See, it's not hard. That's a trade-off. You gotta think ahead. Let's continue on here. Compromise and using sex as a weapon, which is what most women do, okay? And because my sex is pretty good, she says it, okay? It's just that she don't know how to compartmentalize that shit, okay? And my sex is pretty good. We got 2 kids together, okay? And she didn't cheat. I hope not. Now let's continue on here, okay? Let me see. Not interested in your career. Very important thing, especially for alpha men and holy men out here. Holy men look at a woman and thinking that, okay, I know she needs security, okay? But is that her top priority? My wife never asked me for any fucking money out here. My wife never asked me for any money. That is why I had to get her. I said, she don't even ask me for anything. I said, do you need anything? She says, no. But I intended to send her something because she never asked me what? My occupation. And if a woman don't ask you your occupation, that's a keeper. That's a keeper, motherfuckers. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. She's not interested in your career. Defends your honor. Goes the same way as is the same as respecting you behind your back, okay? Basically, there's another one too, I think it was. But anyway, defending your honor means, that's what she was talking about in her video. Check it out. I'll put the link up there when I get the chance. She talks behind your back. That's why you have to test her. It's always wise to test women. What does she say when you're not around? Very important for guys to understand this. If y'all play chess and you know how the game is working and you're going to take risks. Everybody's going to take risks. So understand she defends your honor. And I definitely agree with what she says, okay? And a lot of things that she says, I take it out because a lot of them are, similar to one another, okay? These are the traits you're looking for in a Nawalt. These are the traits you're looking for in a unicorn. All right, okay, let's continue on here. Praising you. Same thing. That's the same thing as, defending your honor behind your back. If she don't praise you and she don't talk about you and she's in front of strangers, especially white women particularly, or she likes to hang with women in general, okay, and they're gossipy and shit like that, then basically there's gonna be a problem. Like other girls are talking about their husbands in a positive fashion, and she don't talk about you, okay, or everybody talking about something negative, but then she says negative things about you, okay, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have any negatives, okay, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's perfect in a way, right? No, everybody's not perfect, okay. Another thing too. Here's another one. Let me see. One of these things I did not write down. Just came into my mind. She's a Nawalt. She's a unicorn. She's not social because socializing is the construct for women to cheat. Giving them media, and she's not interested in media. She's just basically a gishy girl. Okay, it's very hard to find a gishy girl. Okay, females who like to socialize, who want to be around other people. Like I like to be around people sometimes. Okay, but If it's like a urge, like I need to get out there and shit like that, that woman cannot be contained. She's going to eventually let herself free somehow. You can't trust women if, as long as you can fuck them, okay, and trust them, okay, and give them money and shit. You got to give them privileges and shit. But anyway, as I said, I given my wife privileges so I can see if she can take advantage of me. I told her I'm giving you these things because I trust you. You're not going to go the wrong direction. You, when she come in this country, she made an agreement pact with me. My wife made an agreement pact with me. Agreement pact. I record my shit. So please don't talk about me. Please don't talk about me when I record my own shit. Please. Please, guys. And she said, yeah, I control everything. I said, before you come in this country, remember one thing. I control everything. If you made that shit clear to a woman who's in a developed country, oh my fucking God. Okay, you know, they will never listen to your ass. And here's another thing too, okay? There's another thing that came off the top of my head. She had a father figure. It's very important that she has a father figure somewhere, because if the father's not around and you don't have no protective father and shit, these are things that she probably did, most likely she didn't say in her fucking video, but it's very important that women have a father figure somewhere. Like, my daughters will always be around me unless my wife do something stupid and shit, like put me in jail, and then I have to come out and call my alien buddies and they take her body away. I don't know what the fuck to do about that, but if you don't have a father figure, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, she's single. She's living with her mother, single. Her father, or her father's just away temporary because he has multiple wives. That's a plus. If she has a father and her father is basically like have multiple wives, that's a plus sign. Okay, because you understand she raised up in that shit. Okay, you know, you have to understand that the female mind is very feeble, okay, very seasonal. Men mind are not more likely to be feeble. They're more disciplined, okay? So you have a disciplinary type of individual characteristic versus a female who's more likely to be changed and be fickle later on in their life, okay? They get a little seasonal and say, yeah, I always wondered, I really thought, you know, you gotta nip that in the bud early because she didn't have a father figure, see? Let's continue on here. She got your back, okay? Got your back. And the praising you are pretty much the same thing as, okay, defending your honor, okay? Praising you is the same thing, okay? Got your back is the same thing, okay? She says positive things while you're not around. You have to test all that stuff out, man. You got to test that out. It takes some work and shit. Okay, here's another one. Not a ring on her finger, okay? She doesn't look at a ring like, she don't believe in marriage, as a matter of fact. Most men and women, when they congregate one another, 80 to 90% of the time, they do it before they're married. And you know that's a fact, right? Okay, so basically, people making agreement pacts is kind of null and void these days because women want to look. Put up if your nigga's single, put a ring on it. You know that Beyonce song. I'm like, you don't need a ring on it to keep that bitch. Okay, she could leave your ass with a ring and take half your shit. So you already know the fundamentals of marriage is folly. So we don't need to put a ring on no women's fingers, especially if she says she's a queen or some shit. You don't even know her background and shit, right? Are you paying attention? Are you still stuck with me right here? We learning something right here. She don't focus on a ring. My wife didn't ask for a fucking ring. But of course, I had to marry my wife because my inner voices told me, you better get the hell out of that country. So y'all not as special as I am. I got the gift of premonitions and dreams and shit. Everything I have is because of the voices. But that's another subject. Okay, now let's continue now in here. Okay, let's see. Loyal. Loyal is a thing that cannot be seen early, but you can test it. You can test it, and you can test it early. Like, for example, I put my hoe in the past on the phone with my wife, and I wanted to make sure she don't listen to other people's verbatim wordplay or whatever when she's, you know, literally changing your heart. And I said that I told my wife the truth. I said, yeah, in my past, I've dealt with a lot of women in my past. And I need you to talk to my girlfriend here. You know, basically, most women don't have your best of interest. You should always take that with a grain of salt. Always take that. You especially if you're intelligent and you're a holy man. They're not going to have your best of interest. So you have to test your woman with another female. I had 3 females. Okay, one from Jamaica, Barbados, and then Ethiopia. The first 2. The first one, she cried because she didn't want to deal with all that bullshit. And I said, you know, she can't even handle a simple woman saying I'm a liar, okay? You know, I don't need a woman unstable like that. I even tell her, I said, you're going to be tested. So here we go. I even tell a female in advance, and you're telling women in advance. You're not feeding off their fucking desperation or anything. You got to tell women in advance. That's alpha. You're actually telling women, I'm going to test you. You are going to go through a trial with me because I'm special like that. All right, you tell them that you're not. I'm not doing anything shady. I'm not doing any womanizing. Okay, now let's continue on here. Playing a game. Okay, response to delay. Now, when women text you and type you and shit, I learned a long time ago. I used to run across people and shit to get the phone and shit and pick up the phone. And now these days we got text messaging now. Okay, I nip that shit in the butt. I give them a card. It takes less than a week to get pussy with me. Okay, yeah, it takes that less. I guess my personality. Now, if the female play a hesitation game with you, you tell her in advance, I do not play games. When I message you and you see it, please respond. If you do not respond, then I will take it as is. You're playing a game. You have to be direct and honest with women. You cannot allow your emotion. Okay, I don't want to seem like I am. No, no, no. If you're a man, you tell her, I don't have time to play games. Okay, I need your response right now. Okay, you tell her, you direct her what she's supposed to do. You tell her how she can and how she cannot act. That's a real man. You tell her how and how she cannot act. If she somehow plays a game on that phone, then she's not your type. Don't waste your time. You will save you some shit in the long run, because women, they get petty. They want to play this little game. Say, I didn't want him to run away. That insecure shit is void and null. They know that highly intelligent. Most women know this fact, that the more stronger and smarter a man is, most likely he's more likely not to cheat, okay? Especially if he ain't got that much prettiness with him. It's about beauty. When a woman looks at a man, it's usually about beauty. And 9 times out of 10, the hoes I talk to is the pretty boys who are like 6'2". They know them motherfuckers are gonna cheat, right? Right? Yeah, I got a point. Most women deal with guys who look like 8, 9s, and 10s. Obviously, they're gonna cheat if they look like that motherfucker. It doesn't matter what you say. They say less than smart guys like me. It's harder for me to deal with women. Okay? I gotta go out there and do an application process. I gotta try to make them hard. It's harder for me to make them smile. It's easy for me now because I got the training. But a lot of guys who are very attractive, these are the women that most women, the lower ones, will automatically assume that this motherfucker's gonna try to cheat. But women know when they deal with me, I have no capabilities of cheating. I can't, because I'm too honest. I'll actually, as a man, when I talk to other women on the phone, I usually tell her, this is a female who says she's a virgin. See, that's alpha. I'm saying I told her in advance I wanted a polygynous relationship in advance. If you followed me very clearly and understood me, okay, in my past, I try to get her sister, which I assumed she was a virgin. But being honest is a very big thing with an alpha. You can't be scared that she's going to run away with an alpha. Real men are not scared. Weak women are scared. Strong women are just like as you are. You have to be alpha with the emotions. You can't be playing around tick for tack. Now let's continue on here. Laughter, okay? Laughter together. See, it's automatic. I can go in right here now, and make my wife laugh instantly. Instantly, I make her smile. So it's not about laughing together. We don't watch the same things because she's not on that intellectual level to watch the movies I like to watch. I like really encrypted, dark anime and shit, bloody stuff. I like everything. Under the sun. But women's interest is much smaller than fucking man's. Okay, so please understand that that's a fact, you guys. And y'all women who's watching me, because I know women look at me and they're like, oh, this motherfucker's a liar, like a motherfucker. I'm telling you, most women don't like playing games, especially pretty females, average looking females. It's usually those unattractive ones that like to play games and shit like that, because they got nothing else to do. Now you understand how it feels to be a man. There's a lot more virgin men out there than women, okay? So there's a whole lot more virgin men out there who are average looking compared to women who are average looking. They have lost their virginity, all of them. Okay, now let's continue on here. Claustrophobic, okay? I'm usually at my own. You see this space of room here I have? I don't sleep next to my wife because my wife did some bad things, okay? So I don't sleep next to her. Now, when I was in Ethiopia, I actually slept next to both her sister and her, okay? And it was all fine and hanky-dinky. Understand the position that you're in. Where are you at, okay? If you're in a developed country, so they think they can take advantage of white daddy, then you see the difference. It's a psychology. So basically, claustrophobia is not a problem with me and women because I make them smile and they have a hard time getting me out. So when my wife called the false PFA, yeah, I'm going to answer that. I was only going for like a month because the fact that they couldn't get in touch with me. And I fear the law. So basically, she was going to call me back, and she did call me back because she knew she needs me for certain things. There's no phone. There's no ride. She's going to have to walk. I supply every motherfucking thing. Do you know the real reason why Oprah don't fucking marry her fucking boyfriend? She's still gonna lose some money though, so she better be careful. Like anytime you deal with someone of the opposite sex, there's a risk that you will lose something. Now, let's continue on here. Claustrophobia don't work, but if she doesn't mind being next to you. In Ethiopia, I was always around my wife, okay? So we were right in that small little hut house. We was always in that room cooped up watching TV together, okay? You got to do this shit early, guys. Early. Now, the next thing is she doesn't need to be fixed. Now, with any developed country you're in, now, I'm done. This is just the last thing. That's it. Any developed country where there's an ordinary woman who's raised by a single mother, 90% of the time, 80% of the time, they're raised by single mothers. They don't like to be cooped up with you because they see all that activity going on out there. Most women are not disciplined. And there's a lot of men I've encountered in my life who are very fucking disciplined. And also never had a piece of ass in their fucking life, which is fucking sad. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just that either they're too shy, they lack the confidence, they lack the charm, or they just can't find a female like them. There's a lot of females I've tried to encounter in my blue pill days, and they just be stuck up. You know, I got over that hump of being shy. I said, fuck that, fuck being shy. You ain't lived less than 100 years old, dog. You can't afford to be shy. I try to tell these guys. Guys need a lot. Men are the victims in society, even though women disappear every day. Think about that, how that works. Does that make any sense? Okay, let's continue on here. Ask questions, you'll learn a lot more. Hello. Okay, now I'm gonna say willing to share you. Okay, here's another trait that Nawalt have. Okay, unicorn have. True women know the nature of a man and the man's sexual beast and proudness. Okay, right? So you have to understand that if you have a woman who's willing to share you with either aka her sister or another female, and then she is really a keeper, like a motherfucker. Virginity, her sharing, being completely subservient, and basically listening to the instructions of the alpha male so her life can even be better. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there you go. So in a nutshell, that's really three things, but you know, most women will have little high maintenance frequencies with themselves, and they got to be fixed or they've been damaged. That's why I don't talk to women who either been raped. I don't talk to women really who haven't had a father figure. Now, in my past history of time and space, okay, here, in my past, when I was a gigolo for like 5 years, I think with 5 to 6 years and shit, me being on the streets and so forth and shit, living with women, I learned something from women. Is that the women are liars, okay, and usually they just need a companion. And what was I saying about the high maintenance thing? Okay, a lot more women need more work because all they do is sit in front of the TV. They don't really have a lot of enthusiasticness about them. But other than that, what was I saying? What did I say about high maintenance? Okay, if she needs to be fixed and she's been raped, okay, I fuck them bitches with strap-ons. Okay, I don't fuck used vaginas. I never touched one. Okay, I inspected them with the gloves and shit. I told you I'm a gynecologist. I tell people all the time, women know me. Okay, if you see me, you see my face. You know, you want to try to give me a call, I can't do it now because I got kids now. So don't try to come back. Don't get on me. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. Okay, I'm not special. Okay, but other than that, okay. If she's high maintenance, that's a red flag. No father figure. Okay, she's raised by single mothers, and you're not going to get along with that type. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, you are even warned. Okay, and another thing too, I want to tell y'all guys something here. Okay, know thyself is more important than all things and anything else. Take a little note here. It says never risk 100% of wasting your life away, rather than just settling for 80%. Never risk 100%. What I'm saying is that if you're looking for 100% perfection.